All right, now we're good. Hi, Hannah Green. Just finished up a round of 1 under 71, opening round KPMG Women's PGA Championship. Survived an early morning, an early wet morning. Overall, tell me how your round went. Looks like you had a couple ups and downs out there.
Yeah, I did. I bogeyed my first hole, didn't hit a great shot, and then just tried to hold on as much as possible. The front nine, I had a lot of long clubs in, completely different to what I played in the practice round, which I'm sure every other player has probably experienced today. But luckily, our back nine, we got some better weather. The rain stopped, and it was still hard, but yeah, made a couple of soft bogeys, but super happy to birdie 16, 17 to get me under par.
I mean, no matter what, you're under par to start off a major. What was the goal for today? Was just to survive, to try and get under par? Did you have a goal for today?
I think once I got to the first, probably third or fourth hole, I was like, okay, even par is a great score out here today. Nasser and I played really well, and it was just like we're kind of feeding off each other and trying to hang in there. So I knew there was a couple of shorter holes on the back nine that I could kind of access. So I wanted to make sure that I was not putting too much pressure on myself, but wanted to make sure I was putting myself in position to have a birdie or have a low score. So after the start, I'm just glad that I held in there and stayed patient.
And I know you got to attend the past champions dinner last night and hang out with the previous generation of Aussies and see the new generation of Aussies. Could you tell us about the night and the two young women who are here with Kari this week?
Yeah, it was amazing. That was my first dinner because the last couple of years it hasn't been on, obviously with COVID. So even with the early tea time this morning, I wanted to make sure that I was there and able to see all the past champions that fly in and come. So it was super fun. I was on the table with Kirsten Rudgley and Caitlin, who's from Adelaide. So the two young girls are out here watching with Webby. She's not participating, but she's actually outside the ropes watching, which is awesome. I'm really surprised she's out here today. But it was great to experience that with them. And we had Meg and Beth on the table as well, and Anna as well. So it was a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that I went, even with my early tea time today.
Good. Absolutely worth it. We'll open it up to questions. We'll start over here in the front with Jean.
And you mentioned when you got on the course, you thought even par would be a good score, and when you see Ingie at 8 under, kind of what's your reaction to that performance?
I don't know what golf course she's playing. We were looking at the scores and we were like, oh wow, okay, 5 under par, but still tough on the back nine. And to hear that she's 8, I'm like, wow, that's impressive. That's like shooting 10 under out here. I hit some hybrids into holes. I hit 5 wood into a hole and into a par 5. Yeah. It was long out there, so it really helps if you hit the fairways, obviously, but it's still hard to predict what's going to happen. So 8 under, I don't know if that's going to hold up. Like everyone's going to shoot that type of score. So props to Ingie for the way she's playing today.
Do you feel you have to be more aggressive with Ingie on the way to posting such a low number?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what the conditions are going to be like. I hope that we do get some sunlight and that it can firm up a little bit because I think that will help. But I'm still going to try and shoot for 2 or 3 under a day. I think that will still climb me up there. It's hard to lead major championships and to back a round like that up at a major. So we'll see what happens.
Back row to Jeff.
What kind of a lift do you get as a player with a finish like that on such a tough test?
Yeah, it definitely helps the momentum going into tomorrow. The putt that I hold in 16 and 17, they were 2 pretty similar breaking putts, so it was nice to be able to visualize it and actually go in. So I'll do a little bit of putting practice after my round and then, hopefully have just a nice relaxing afternoon and not think about golf too much. But it definitely helps, especially with the tough stretch of the last 4 holes, to be able to birdie 2 of them.
How long were the putts?
The first one was probably like 12 feet, and then the second one was probably closer to 20 feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was really nice. They both went in with good pace, so that was always good too.
Do you find any similarities to this test and the length here to Hazeltine?
Yeah, a little bit. I feel like also the daunting tee shot on 18. Like it's quite a wide fairway, but when you're over the ball, it kind of looks a little bit narrower. I feel like the grass type. The green complexes is very similar, and hopefully I can feed off those vibes.
To Amy in the back.
Yeah. Hannah, we talked yesterday about how you've worked to pick up more distance. Mm-hmm. Had you not done that work, where do you think you would have been today?
Oh, I don't think I would have shot under par. The 9th hole, I had to hit a 5 wood in for my 3rd shot. I hit a couple of hybrids into par 4s, hybrids into par 3s. So I think if I played my best with that length, I probably would have shot a couple over par, maybe 3 over par. So it has made a big difference. Also, I think even though length is good, accuracy on this golf course is still important. And I managed to miss 1 fairway, and I missed it by a metre. So that also helps too.
Great. Anything else? Jeff?
What's the biggest thing you did to pick up speed?
I feel like I've always have been able to create speed. I've just never really chased it. I feel like most people, blow it out of proportion and try too hard sometimes, but I just wanted to slowly see what I could achieve and what I could manage. I mean, when I'm in the start of the year, I always feel fresh. I've had a couple months off. I've trained hard in the gym, but I think it's hard to maintain during a season. Everyone gets tired. Things happen off the golf course, but yeah, it was really fun to do it. It wasn't like I was swinging out of my shoes and I couldn't actually, hold my follow through, but it was just nice to chase and still continue to chase.
Do you know pretty much what you've picked up year over year?
I don't think I've really picked up that much over the last 12 months, but when I came back out in 2021, I mean, the stats on LPGA would have said that I picked up nearly 20 yards in distance. I'd say probably 10 metres of carry, which is still quite big. So it's definitely been helpful, and even a couple of tee shots out here, been able to carry bunkers where maybe some are trying to stay short. Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much, Hannah. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.